Well, it's Friday, maybe, well, it depends. It's, I'm going to say it's 1:30 in the afternoon. And like magic, once I get through these gates and over that marker, I'm going to go through a time machine. 1:30, wait for it. Now it's 12:30. Magic the way that happens. And it'll be that way for another week. Apparently the United States feels inclined to lengthen daylight savings time, and Mexico, which didn't really want to have one in the first place and went along because they're the good neighbors to the south, said, no, you know, I think we're just going to stick with things the way they are. So this is what happens. So now it's 12:30. And this is what it's like to walk into Mexico. Note the lack of anybody giving a rat's ass what I'm doing. Obviously, I couldn't record this walking through the port of entry into the United States. The camera would be confiscated, this would be erased, and they'd probably grill me for a couple hours. So once we get through here, we'll be home free. I love this revision up here. The idea is if you're carrying something that they want to look at, there's a little machine here. You press the button. If it's green, you go. If it's red, they get to look through your stuff. Like lottery. Random. And that's customs. We just cleared Mexican customs. How about that? I love the way people say, well, things are so corrupt here. If it's corrupt, wouldn't they just be searching the crap at everybody that comes in the country? I mean, yeah, there's lots of corruption here, but some of it is just the way this country rolls. It's part of doing business. On the other side of the border, the United States, you have accounting errors. Well, here, actually they call it business. This is the way you do business. Over there, they're accounting errors. And every once in a while somebody gets in trouble, but mostly nobody gets in trouble because they're accounting errors. Anyway, we go through this next set of gates and that's it. Then we're in. Bienvenidos a Mexico. This is Madero. That's looking toward the border. That's looking south. On my way to get batteries, I ran into Jody. And unfortunately couldn't film our conversation. He's headed to the other side of the border to go to the bank. And we are headed toward 6th Street. Coming up on the back alley. Elementary school over there. Crossing 5th. There's the yellow light. And up Madero. You see typical closed businesses. Lovely graffiti everywhere. Hotel Santa Maria. Sure I stayed there. Ooh, 17, 18 years ago. That place is El Tigre. I don't even know if it's open anymore. It appears as though it is, but you never know. It's not bad. At least it wasn't bad. I'm going to presume that it's closed. I don't see it open. There's where my taco guy goes at night. This is 6th Street. This is my playground. Walking across 6th. Traffic comes toward us. occasional tourist. For the most part, everybody is a local here. Tourism's kind of dead. I'm gonna go to the Perico. I want to have a beer because it's really hot today. And we go into the Perico. In the Perico. And that's my beer. It's a Dos Equis Amber on tap. And it's nice and calm during the daytime, for the most part. And we can smoke in here now. This is a thing I went into. Pretty sure I've written about this. In Mexico, it's something I related to somebody. I was just talking to Jody about it. The differences between the United States and Mexico are obviously profound, but things seem to work out in everybody's best interest most of the time. Well, here in Mexico, we call it business. Everybody's books are slightly cooked, otherwise they'd be paying so much in taxes if they wouldn't be able to stay open because the tax rate's too high. Well, the government obviously doesn't have enough teeth to put into finding these accounting errors. So what they do is they'll invent creative ways to get revenue. In this case, you decide you're not allowed to smoke in a bar, and then when they make you buy a permit to have a smoking area, which you would think would be outside, and it's supposed to be outside, but it's left to the discretion of the bar. So when it's not crowded, they pass out the ashtrays. If it got really, really crowded, or if anybody, really complained, they would move it outside. But the government has revenue from having everybody buy this license to have a smoking area. If you couldn't smoke in a bar in Mexico, I doubt that anybody would show up. There are people who only smoke in bars when they come to Mexico, so this is what happens. Needing a refill on my beer. This is the reason to live. Right here. Gracias. Well, here we are. This is my third and last beer in the Dandy. Jody came in. I didn't film him. I don't want to make him uncomfortable. He brought me gifts. Apparently he's been holding on to this stuff for quite some time. Kentucky Derby hat, 2008. He added to my collection. And the Derby glass. Every year they change the design from Derby 134, and they list all of the Derby winners, highlighted by Triple Crown winners with the crown, and then fillies that have won with a dot. Regret being the first in 1915, the first filly to win the Kentucky Derby, and the last would be the winning colors, the D. Wayne Lucas filly.